It's just for one problem. Sorry,
Okay, everybody ready? Welcome to our council meeting. Let's start with the prayer led by Council Member Jimmy Strickland. Mr. Strickland?
Yes, I would like to ask Pastor Gary Tillerson to lead us in prayer, Kingdom Reality Church.
Thank you. Let's bow our head. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for this opportunity to be able to come together, to pray, to stand in the gap for our nation. Lord, we lift up California to you. We continue to ask you to look down upon our city, New Orleans. And God, we pray that you would just give us the counsel and the comfort that we need that only comes from you. Help us during these very uncomfortable times. We simply pray that this meeting would be in order, that there will be no confusion, but we pray for the spirit of peace and unity. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Let's do the pledge led by the Honorable Rick Smith.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Ms. Katrina, will you please call the roll? How many gavels we got?
Mr. Smith. Mr. Rowland. Ms. Casabon. Ms. Seiden. Mr. Phillips. Ms. Tanner. Mr. Impastato.
Here.
Mr. Burt.
Here.
Mr. Cooper.
Here.
Ms. O'Brien. Mr. Loughlin.
Here.
Mr. Bender.
Here.
Mr. Corbin.
Here.
And Mr. Strickland.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, just a couple of comments before we get started. Public comment is 3-minute time limit is established for each member of the public wishing to speak for or against an item on the agenda, except for appeals. To ensure that all speakers are heard, please hold cheers and applause. Anyone who wishes to place a comment in the record, but who does not wish to speak at the podium may fill out a speaker card and check the box indicating they do not wish to speak. And also, please remember to stay on topic and be nice. Now, Chairman Lofton, would you please step up? I think we had an exceptional 2024, and it was led by an exceptional chairman, Arthur Laughlin. Get a picture. Okay. Thank you very much, Councilmember Laughlin. Now, please, Mr. President, I know you have a couple words. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman Impastato. And Vice Chair, Mr. Corbin, congratulations on you and being elected to serve the Parish Council as Chair and Vice Chair for this year. We look forward to our continued progress here in St. Tammany Parish. And I, too, want to thank Councilman Arthur Laughlin for his leadership on the council for the past year. Congratulations. And if I may take a moment of personal privilege, today is a National Day of Mourning. It was declared by President Biden to acknowledge the passing of the 39th President of the United States, Jimmy Carter. He passed away at age 100. And our prayers go out to his family as he is laid to rest today. Please join with me in acknowledging and sending prayers to his family. Thank you. And now, as we begin January 2025, it's my honor to present a proclamation to the Employee of the Month. And tonight, I'm presenting the proclamation to Ms. Tracy Conway, who is with the Department of Public Works, more specifically the Tammany Trace. And Tracy, would you come up here, please, as I present this to you? And she's joined here by her parents, and I run into her parents probably more than Tracy over the past 3 weeks. And it's great to see you all here. And Tracy was nominated by Holly O'Neill in the Public Works Department. Whereas Tracy Conway joined St. Tammany Parish government in April of 2022 as a trace ranger within the Department of Public Works, before being promoted to Cultural Recreation and Tourism Coordinator in April of 2023, the role in which she continues to serve today. And whereas Tracy's daily responsibilities include seeking grant funding opportunities for the Tammany Trace and projects at Camp Salmon, as well as coordinating operations at our recreational facilities. And whereas Tracy handles ensuring our recreational assets are properly managed, and she has mastered the complicated task of scheduling all 25 rangers to ensure that the Trace and Camp Salmon are appropriately manned 7 days a week, including holidays from sunrise to sunset. And whereas Tracy also recently coordinated staffing for December's Holiday of Lights event, which brought thousands of visitors to Coop Drive to delight in the lights, decorations, performances, and children's activities, as well as worked for the duration of the event. And whereas Tracy has earned the respect and admiration of her co-workers by proving she is a team player who never hesitates to lend a helping hand or take on new responsibilities. And whereas Tracy's love for her job is apparent in all of her interactions with visitors to these parks, and she is truly devoted to ensuring the Trace and Camp Salmon remain beautiful and functional for everyone to enjoy. And whereas Tracy is an outstanding employee who performs her duties in an exemplary manner and is committed to serving the citizens of St. Tammany Parish. Now therefore I, Michael B. Cooper, as parish president of this great parish, do hereby recognize the hard work, dedication, and accomplishments of Tracy Conway as Employee of the Month, January 2025, and encourage our employees, our citizens, our council members of St. Tammany Parish to thank her for her contributions and commitment to St. Tammany Parish. Congratulations, Tracy. Would you like to say a few words? You sure? Okay. Right here. This is for you, Tracy. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You don't go anywhere. Mr. President, our next presentation is a proclamation to the family of James Alcor by you and Ms. Councilwoman Martha Casabon. Mm-hmm.
Come on, daughters.
Suzanne?
Speak in front of the mic.
Okay,
here.
she can
Okay.
speak. There we go.
All right.
There we go. That's good right there.
Marshall, yes. This is a proclamation. It says, whereas James Leonard Corr was a lifelong resident of St. Tammany Parish, whose large pioneer family had called St. Tammany home since the 1700s. Whereas James grew up in a faithful Christian home, and as a teenager, he helped build the original campus of Red Bluff Baptist Church, where James became a charter member and practiced his faith throughout his life. And whereas James served in the Army during Vietnam, where he used his skills he learned as a boy to build roads, bridges, and airstrips that were crucial to the war. And whereas James has honorably served the residents of St. Tammany Parish, he was a St. Tammany Sheriff's Deputy for 6 years, but most importantly, he served almost 44 years on the St. Tammany Parish Hospital Board, eventually becoming the chairman of the Building and Grounds. He helped transform the hospital from a small local facility into a world-class health destination. And whereas James was highly regarded by all who had the pleasure of working with him, His faithful service to his community, leadership skills, knowledge, and generosity to all is something we will all remember and cherish. And whereas James is survived by his devoted wife, and along with his 4 children and 6 loving grandchildren, and whereas we will remember his loyalty to his family, love of nature, and his lifelong friendships he's made, James leaves behind an enduring legacy that will continue to shape the St. Tammany Parish for many years to come. Now, Michael B. Cooper, as president of St. Tammany Parish and witness of this legacy, do hereby recognize the lifetime achievements of James Leonard Corr.
Thank you.
An extraordinary person, an extraordinary family. Thank you so much. Next, we have a presentation, a community service presentation to the Slidell VFW by Councilmember David Kugel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have to disclose, in addition to supporting this great organization, I'm also a member. Unfortunately, the hat does not fit on my head, even though this is the highest setting, so you guys can take whatever you want from that. I joined the VFW a couple months ago, and I just wanted to, it's been, just an institution in our community for a long period of time. It's actually in Mr. Burke's district. That's why I asked him to also sign this. It's just pretty much on the line. And I want to recognize, just for the achievements they've done, all the community service, and I'm going to read this now, a certificate of recognition. The Parish Council desires to acknowledge the veterans of foreign wars post 5735 for their service to our veterans, the military, and our residents of St. Tammany Parish. Whereas the Veterans of Foreign Wars is a nonprofit veteran service organization comprised of eligible veterans and military service members from the active Guard and Reserve forces, and whereas the Veterans of Foreign Wars post 5735 was founded on January 6, 1946, in Slidell, and not only continues to help veterans and their families meet their needs, but helps other individuals, families, and organizations within our community. And whereas Post 5735 conducts several art and essay contests through the St. Tammany Parish school system. Students ranging from kindergarten through 12th grade who are interested in the contest receive instructions, visits, and assistance from the Post. This year, they have received almost 900 entries, and students were awarded in a variety of ways, including monetary. And whereas Post 5735 also recognizes the police, firefighters, EMTs, and dispatchers, the Post has members who visit those ill or elderly in nursing homes or in homes of those in need. Members make quilts to give to those who are suffering and help with personal hygiene, grass cutting, housekeeping, cooking, and even taking residents to various doctor appointments. And whereas the Post collects money through various fundraisers to purchase and place flags in May and wreaths in December at the Southeast Veterans Cemetery, and to ensure veterans are respected for their service and sacrifices they have made on behalf of this great country. And whereas the Parish Council would like to thank the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 5735 for being an advocate on behalf of all veterans in our community. Now, therefore, on January 9th, we, Patrick Burke, Councilman District 8, and David Kugel, Councilman District 9, take great pride in recognizing and expressing their appreciation to the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 5735 for their dedication and commitment to service in this parish. Introduce yourself. You want to speak first, or?
No, I don't want to. I'm just, thank you, council and members. I am the commander at the VFW post for 6 years now, and I'm giving it up. I'm ready to go travel. Thank you.
President Cooper. Now for our last presentation. We have a presentation to Leslie Long for her years of service as Chief Financial Officer of St. Tammany Parish Government. Jeff.
Would you like your family to come stand up here with you? Sure. Okay. Leslie Long is retiring from St. Tammany Parish government after 23-plus years serving St. Tammany Parish. She first joined St. Tammany Parish government on June 11th, 2001, as an accounting manager within the finance department. 2 months later, she was promoted to acting finance director before officially assuming the role of director of finance in December of 2001. In 2017, her role changed to chief financial officer, the capacity in which Leslie has continued to serve since that time. Whereas Leslie has honorably overseen the finances of St. Tammany Parish government for more than 23 years, providing steadfast leadership, fiscal responsibility, and unwavering dedication to the citizens of our parish. And whereas under Leslie's guidance, the Finance Department has implemented best practices in governmental accounting, budgeting, and financial planning, and has been recognized for 20 consecutive years for excellence in financial reporting by the Government Finance Officers Association. And whereas during her tenure, Leslie has been a champion of financial transparency, ensuring that public funds have been managed with the highest level of accountability and that all financial reports are easily accessible by members of the public. And whereas Leslie has truly served as a pillar through the changing administrations of parish government, and her institutional knowledge of the workings of parish government will not soon be replicated. And whereas Leslie's stewardship of public funds and commitment to service has left a lasting legacy over St. Tammany Parish government that will continue to benefit future residents for generations to come. And whereas St. Tammany Parish government is grateful for her unwavering dedication, remarkable memory, and all-around financial expertise, which have undoubtedly strengthened the foundation of our community. Now, therefore, I, Michael B. Cooper, as Parish President of St. Tammany Parish, do hereby recognize the outstanding career and accomplishments of Leslie Long and invite all employees, council members, and our citizens to recognize her 23-plus years of dedicated service, which will be recalled by all who have had the pleasure to work alongside her by her unwavering integrity, steadfast commitment to faithfully serving the people of St. Tammany Parish as she officially retires from St. Tammany Parish government. Leslie, congratulations. In addition to her proclamation, we have a nice memento for her to forever remember your tenure here at St. Tammany Parish Government. This is for you as well, Leslie.
Thank you so much.
Let's get a picture. Okay.
Y'all in? Here, you wanna hold
Yeah,
this
yeah,
one?
yeah.
There you go.
Y'all are coming in? Okay.
There we go. Balance that up. And Leslie would like to say a few words.
A couple.
We would love for you to. Let me give that to you, Doris.
First of all, thank you, President Cooper, members of the council, for your very kind words and for this certificate of recognition. I am grateful for the opportunity I was given 23 years ago to return home to St. Tammany Parish and to work for this government. It's been my honor and privilege to lead the finance department for all these years and to work alongside the leadership for the betterment of our community. I thank God for the men and women who worked with me and for me in the Department of Finance. I truly admire their dedication, work ethic, desire to do excellent work every day. They are well-educated, experienced, and a resourceful group who are always willing to assist other departments and agencies to accomplish their goals. I'm particularly proud of the accolades our department received from state, federal, and other organizations in the field of public finance. The Legislative Auditor's Office, the Bureau of Governmental Research, the Federal Office of Inspector General, the Government Finance Officers Association, credit analysts with Standard & Poor's, and QTAC Rock, a national law firm that specializes in municipal bond issues. These organizations recognized our department for having strong policies, procedures, a system of internal controls, for being innovative, for producing comprehensive financial statements that met or exceed the requirements and standards, and for managing special funding sources in an organized and well-documented manner. I've been asked, what am I going to do when I retire? Honestly, I have no idea. But that kind of feels good, you know? And I'm excited to transfer the reins to Annie Perkins, who I've worked with for the last 10 years, and wish that she too has the opportunity to serve the citizens of St. Tammany for many, many years. God bless and thank you.
Don't go too far, Leslie. Councilmember Rowling, you have the floor.
Leslie, you can go up to the podium. You know, I just have a brief comment. Me and Leslie go back to 2004.
Yes.
When I met you doing the St. Tammany Leadership Program. We were in the same class in 2004. And I remember like walking into our class and you were always just so happy and joyous, and the room was bright with you in it, and we're going to miss you, there's no doubt about it. And who would dream that we would be working together the last year and a month? But I've been knowing you since 2004, and congratulations on your retirement, and enjoy the world out of it.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Councilman Cool, you have the floor.
Leslie, as you know, we had, I think, 9 new council members last year, and this is my first time, and I remember asking these questions, and you were always so patient with me and explaining things and explaining them in a way I could understand, and I just want to tell you how much I appreciate that, your kindness and your patience, and just enjoy your grandchildren.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Wait,
Okay.
slow down. Councilman Bender, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Leslie, when I came here and from the city council to the parish council in 2004, you sure seem like a person with a lot more than 3.5 years of St. Tammany Parish experience. But let me just say, you've always been kind to me. You've always been helpful. You've always answered my questions. And I don't know that you and I ever had a crossword in the 20 years that I've been here.
Maybe not a crossword. A difference of opinion, perhaps.
Let me rethink that, okay? Yeah, I can be a little bit cross at times, okay?
I think it was me. It was me.
Oh, well, at any rate, I wish you the best in your retirement.
Thank you, sir.
Leslie, we love you. We appreciate you. You've done a wonderful job. I've known you for a long time, and it has been truly an honor to know you and to work with you. Thank you so much.
It's been so much fun, really. I know it's, you know, some days it hasn't always been fun, but overwhelmingly, there's been better, more good days than bad, so.
Focus on the good.
Yeah, we'll focus on the good. Thank you.
Congratulations,
so much.
Leslie.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so now we move to our appeals section of the agenda. Each side is allowed 10 minutes to present their case and 3 minutes for rebuttal, and 2-minute conclusion per side may be allowed if questions are asked by the council. The appeal tonight is Marcel J. Champagne appealing the Zoning Commission denial on December 3rd, 2024 to rezone 1.72 acres of land, more or less, located on the northeast corner of Henry Clay Avenue and Ravine Street, being lot 26, square 2, Red Gap Acres, Covington, from its existing L1 large lot residential district to L2 large lot residential district in Ward 3, District 11. The petitioner is Marcel J. Champagne, owner Marcel and Karen Treadway Champagne. Councilmember Laughlin.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. I have spoken to both Mr. and Mrs. Champagne. They advised me that most likely they are going to, they've requested a postponement and explained to me that they're in the process of possibly selling this parcel. So at this time, I would petition that we move to postpone this indefinitely and only bring it back if it needs to, if they wish to go forward. Otherwise, it's my understanding that they're planning on withdrawing this appeal next week.
Okay. Motion to postpone indefinitely by, and second by David Kugel. Please. Oh, we do have one card. So the motion is postponed indefinitely. I don't know if you'd still like to speak. The speaker is Herb Lying.
I've already spoken. I believe he's left. I spoke to him earlier.
Okay, so we're good.
Yeah.
Motion and second on the floor. Seeing no public comment, please vote.
The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Okay, now we move to our appointment segment of the agenda. Resolution to appoint Eric Singletary to fill a vacant seat on the Board of Commissioners for the St. Tammany Parish Development District. Parish, well, okay, needs to lay over. All right, do we have a motion to appoint? Motion by Arthur, second by David Kugel. Is there any discussion? Okay, please vote.
Wait, sorry. Now vote.
Mr. Corbett, would you please make a motion
Hold on,
to...
one moment. The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Okay, Mr. Corbett, would you please make a motion to suspend the rules and adopt so the appointment can be filled immediately?
I'd like to make a motion to suspend and adopt. Second.
Motion and second.
Who's
Tell
the
me
second?
more. Mr. Bender.
All right. I need a vote.
Okay, please vote.
And that motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Okay. Congratulations, Mr. Singletary. The next is a resolution to reappoint Barrett McGuire on the Board of Commissioners for the St. Tammany Parish Recreation District Number 1 by me, Ms. O'Brien. Motion, Ms. O'Brien, second by Mr. Laughlin. Any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Okay, number 3 is a resolution to reappoint Lorraine Saba to the Board of Commissioners for the St. Tammany Waterworks District Number 2 by Mr. Rowley. Motion, Mr. Rowley, second by Ms. Kaiser-Devon. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Number 4 is a resolution to appoint Ms. Suzanne Kaur to fill the vacancy on the Board of Commissioners for Communications District Number 1. Ms. Kaiser-Devon?
So moved. And I'll second.
Motion, Ms. Kaiser-Devon, second by Ms. O'Brien. Any discussion? Please vote. Yes, ma'am, we will. Ms. Kaiser-Devon, you have a motion to suspend the rules?
Everybody hasn't voted yet.
So quiet in here.
Mr. Smith, what was your vote? You can say it verbally. The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
Okay, Ms. Kaiser-Devon, you have a motion? Motion by Ms. Kaiser-Devon, second by Ms. Tanner.
I don't think we need to for this.
Yes, you do.
It's parish-wide. You handle it over there. We got this here. All right, please vote. We love you, Arthur. Don't worry.
Mr. Lachlan, what was your vote? Yeah. The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Okay, number 5 is a resolution to appoint a nominee to fill the remaining term of a vacated seat on the St. Tammany Parish Library Board of Control. It's a parish-wide appointment moved by Mr. Strickland and Mr. Basato. We have to open the floor up for no. First, we'll do public comment. We have one. I do not see it on here.
I believe it was a 2-year
It's
term.
2026,
So it's 1 year remaining or 11 months remaining?
July of 2026.
About a year and a half.
Okay, so the term will expire on July 2026. Okay. So we have speakers up here. Number 1 is Mr. Charles Branton. Please, when you come up to the podium, state your name and address. But, I mean, he filled out a speaker card. He has to make that decision.
Yes, sir. I'm Charles Brown. I go by Chuck at 931 Camp Hill Drive, Abita Springs. I was a candidate last time, and now we have a vacancy on the board. I'm asking the board to nominate me tonight, this council to nominate me. I'm asking you to look at my qualifications. I've been here since 1983. I've got a master's in library science from LSU. I've been a library director in the state of Louisiana, and while I was a library director, we had to work very hard to pass an extension of the library millage, and we were able to do that. I have served on boards all over this parish. I've been a homeowners president multiple times. I've served on the board of Legal Aid, Southeast Louisiana Legal Services. I've served on the board of Fire District 1. I want to offer all of that experience to serve on this board. There's a lot of work to be done. There is a millage coming up March 20. My roots are very deep here. Almost most of my 6 children call St. Tammany home. My grandchildren are here. 2 of my children teach in the public schools of this parish. I don't plan on going anywhere. I want to see the library succeed. I want to see the library face the challenges that every new year brings. New technology, new people. St. Tammany Parish is growing at an incredible rate. One of the things that has to be consistently planned and executed is future growth of this parish. In my mind, and I don't have the numbers, Mandeville is growing down towards Lacombe, Slidell is growing up towards Lacombe. So Lacombe is, to me, the geographical center point of this parish, and it's going to grow very quickly. One of the things that needs to be looked at is the provision of services in the region we know is going to be growing and bearing the brunt of the fastest growth in this area of the state. I'm asking this council to nominate me tonight, and I'm asking for your vote and consideration next month. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
1 second, sir. Don't walk away. Oh, there's no microphones on. Okay, you're fine. Thank you, sir. Next, we have Mr. Kevin Marino. Please, when you get up to the podium, state your name and address for the record.
Hi, Kevin Marino. I live at 139 Carmel Drive in Mandeville, Louisiana. I've been a lifelong resident of St. Tammany, and when we think about who we're nominating on this board, we need to make sure that these nominations align with the library's mission to cultivate discovery, creativity, and lifelong learning, its vision to ensure the lives of, to enrich the lives of every resident of St. Tammany Parish. I don't know about who you're going to nominate other than the gentleman who just spoke, but I urge the council to carefully interview these individuals and any future nominees to ensure they uphold the values and the values and that reflect the library's mission and vision. Board members should support the First Amendment rights because the First Amendment guarantees the freedom of speech, but also the freedom to receive information, which is what the library is all about. Libraries are essential to protecting those rights for everyone, including minor children who are entitled to the same constitutional protections. A library that values lifelong learning must safeguard access to ideas and information without censorship. Board members should make a commitment to sustaining and growing a robust library system. The library's mission to foster discovery and creativity relies on a strong, well-supported system. This system must offer access to technology, resources, and programs for all members of the community, from young children to seniors, and this access needs to be open to citizens both in our large cities and the more rural parts of our parish. Board members must be dedicated to advancing these efforts. They should support diversity in books, authors, and characters. A library that seeks to enrich lives must offer collections and programs that reflect the diversity of our community. This includes stories by and about people of different races, religions, genders, abilities, and experience, and our board should reflect that. Such diversity fosters empathy, understanding, and lifelong learning. The public's trust in the library's current board is lacking due to the manner in which the current board member was appointed, and as it is part of an ongoing lawsuit. The perception of the current board members is that they are open to censoring books and ideas, and that has lost the public trust. By appointing new board members who firmly support intellectual freedoms, inclusivity, and access to information, you can restore this confidence in this important institution. The library's mission and vision provide a clear path forward. Let's ensure the individuals entrusted to do so are committed to these principles. Thank you.
Thank you. And before we move on, I have to make an announcement. I'm very, very sorry I did not do this at the beginning of the meeting. Councilman Pat Phillips is not here tonight because his mother passed away. He has been in all of our prayers. He's very strong, as you know. He works at this job constantly. He is always here, and it is the only reason that he is not with us tonight. So please keep him in your prayers and thoughts. Our next speaker would be Miss Donna Benoit. When you come up, please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes.
Happy New Year to y'all. Thank you for having me up here. My name is Donna Benoit. I live in Riverwood Subdivision, 111 Cherry Laurel Drive, Covington, Louisiana. I am just hoping that we elect board members that reflect the community standards and for the library. And I also ask that safeguards be put in place, no matter who that person is, to protect the innocence of children. And that is what my goal is.
The next speaker is Miss Johanna Miner. When you get up to the podium, please state your name for the record. Johanna. Okay, we have can somebody see if she still would like to speak, please? I tell you what, would it be okay if we make the nominations now and then we allow Ms. Miner to speak after the nominations? Would that be acceptable? So moved. Okay. Let's open the floor up for nominations. We need to move on that, or we already moved? Mr. Smith?
Yes, I'd like to nominate the gentleman that spoke tonight, Chuck Branton. I nominated him when we originally talked about the new board replacement because of the term limits being non-staggered, and I thought Chuck is very much qualified to be on this board. So that's my recommendation. Thank you.
Okay, motion is second on that nomination. Mr. Laughlin?
I would like to nominate Elwyn Gilliam, otherwise known as Chief Warhorse of the Chata Tribe.
Okay. Mr. Strickland?
Yeah, I would like to, you hear me?
Do you need a second on nominations or no? No. No second needed. Mr. Strickland?
Okay, I would like to nominate Ms. Donna Thanars.
Okay. Ms. Miner? Ms. Johanna? while you were indisposed, we went ahead and made the nominations, but we still reserve your time to speak if you'd like to step up to the podium. Okay, are all the nominations in? Do you need a motion and second to close the floor for nominations? Motion by Mr. Strickland, second by Ms. Tanner. Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Minor. State your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes.
Johanna Minor, P.O. Box 943, Mandeville 70470. I just want to say that we need to vote for someone who's qualified, not just for DEI reasons. And I say that in all respect to everybody up here. I'm just saying we need a qualified candidate who can do this, who has the experience. And we don't need to just hire anybody, Mr. Corbin. And we don't need discrimination against Christians, because that's not right. And I know you know that, but yet publicly you already stated that you wanted, you know, no Christians. You don't want evangelicals.
Ms. Minor, let's just please stick to the subject.
Well, the subject is we need a qualified person, not someone who just wants to be on the board, who just wants to follow what we've been dealing with for 3 years. We need to have a qualified person, not just because of their skin color. And also, I'm sorry. I just feel like we need to do the right thing. And the right thing is to vote for the qualified person who has the skills and the ability to do the job. And I know you know that. You don't want just somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. And we don't have enough time right now. We don't have enough time to do the things that if a new person comes in, they have no skills, they don't know how to do it, they just want to be on the board. We don't have enough time to waste. We are running out of time. So we need to find somebody who can get in there, get the job done, because let's face it, the new board, they don't know what they're doing. They need a leader and somebody who is qualified. That's all I have to say, is we need a good, qualified person to be on this board who can help the board move forward. We need to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Minor. Okay, nominations have been made and it's closed, so we're going to move on to the consent calendar. I'm going to go through some items that have been pulled, and then we'll go through the council members to see what. Okay, any items not pulled from the consent calendar are automatically approved in whole by 1 vote. Items pulled from the consent calendar are discussed and voted upon individually. A majority vote of the entire council, 8, is required to adopt the consent calendar. I am so sorry. Yes, sir, she is. Yes. It's okay. So if you've been nominated and you have not spoke, I'm sorry, another mistake by me. Please step up to the podium if you'd like to speak and say why you'd like to be part of the library board and what your qualifications are. You checked on your speaker card, you do not wish to speak.
I did fill out a card.
You checked, I do not wish to speak.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to put the other check.
You do wish to speak?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I checked the wrong box.
Okay.
My name's Dave
Proceed,
Ziegler
sir.
from Pearl River, Louisiana, 117 Oak Downs Drive. I represent the Slidell Ministers Association as well, and just wanted to thank you guys as a new membered panel of 9 new members, as well as appointing the actual library board that we do have at this moment. But I also would like to to recommend Mr. Charles Branton for, to be nominated as well. And I just want to thank you for what you are doing for our parish, because you're doing a lot. But our libraries are suffering, and we would really like to see some things take place as far as with the children, and no more exposition of these books to small children. And thank you for the work that you've done, David Kugel, as well as Patrick Burke and others, to really solidify and head in that direction to making sure our kids are safe. Thank you for what you're doing, and I recommend Mr. Branton. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your time.
Yes, sir.
Would any of the two nominees like to speak? Yes, ma'am. Ms. Dinah, when you get up to the mic, please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening. I'm Dinah Kuzan Thanars, 65078 Bank Street in Pearl River. I am a retired elementary school teacher in St. Tammany Parish. I moved into St. Tammany in 2000. I have seen the growth in the library in those 24 years. I would be honored to be a part of the board. I think that we need diversity. We need to have the books available for everyone. There should be some limitations with the younger kids, and they shouldn't be exposed to everything. So I would like to see that happen in St. Tammany. I would like to the growth to continue, and I would love to be a part of this board. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. Okay, Chief Warhorse, are you here? Okay, so our two nominees have spoken. Now we're going to move to the consent calendar. Thank you all very much for your time. Any items not pulled from the consent calendar automatically...
You said you had a card? I did have a card. You said you had a card and... Yeah, and that's asked me about the speech.
Okay, well, we have no other cards, sir.
What's his name?
But here, the good news is we have a meeting next month. The library B topic will be up then, and you're welcome to come back then and speak your piece. Thank you very much. Okay, now to the consent calendar. Any item not pulled from the consent calendar, any items not pulled from the consent calendar are automatically approved in whole by one vote. Items pulled from the consent calendar are discussed and voted upon individually. A majority vote of the entire council, 8, is required to adopt the consent calendar. Ordinances for introductions that are going to be pulled. Number 3, ordinance calendar number 7777. Number 14, ordinance calendar number 7788. Number 15, ordinance calendar number 7789. Number 17, ordinance calendar number 7791. Number 19, ordinance calendar number 7793. Number 22, ordinance calendar number 7796. We're going to go through the council. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, number 18 is going to be pulled. Which is, what number is that, Katrina?
It's right here, 7792.
18 is 7792. On the resolution side, we'll be pulling number 2, Resolution Council Series number C-7047, and Resolution number 3, Council Series number C-7048. Okay, let's go through the council. Does anybody have any items to pull? Oh. Okay. Well, let's go through the council, and I'll do the rest of these.
Yes.
Okay, we have a few more resolutions to be pulled. Seeing no input from the council. Number 5 is Resolution Council Series number C-7050. Number 7 is Resolution Council Series number C-7052. Number 10 is Resolution Council Series number C-7055. Number 11 is Resolution Council Series number C-7057. Okay. I don't think anybody, so now the motion is to... Mr. Smith, you have anything you'd like to pull? Mr. Rowley? Ms. Kazadabon? Ms. Seiden? Ms. Tanner? Katrina? Mr. Corbin?
No, sir.
Mr. Burke? No. Mr. Kugel? Ms. O'Brien? No. Mr. Lachlan? No. Mr. Bender? No. Mr. Strickland? No. Okay. Do we have a motion to adopt the consent calendar? Motion by Mr. Lachlan, second by Mr. Bender. Please vote to adopt the consent calendar unless the item's pulled. Everybody's got to vote.
Ms. Seiden and Ms. Casabon, what were your votes?
Down there
The motion
talking.
is unanimous with one absent.
Okay. So the first one, Katrina, is number 3.
Yes.
Okay, so the first item pulled for the consent calendar is ordinance calendar number 7777, an ordinance to amend the official zoning map of St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana to reclassify a certain parcel located on the northwest side of Marina Boulevard, Mandeville, from its present CBF Community-Based Facilities District to an ML Low Multifamily District in Ward 4, District 4. Ms. Seiden.
You have to press your button.
There are 2 parcels in Mandeville and Beauchene, and thank you. I'm going to let Ross fill everyone in about them.
Okay.
Yeah, so the developer and property owner representative is here. This went to the zoning commission asking for an ML, low multifamily family district. After the recommendation of approval from the zoning commission, the developer reached out with their development plan, and it seems that 2-family residential, which is a reduction in the overall density and intensification of the zoning, was requested. So I asked Councilwoman Seiden if she would be open to reducing the zoning classification from ML to TF as per the request of the department and the developer. So that's basically what it is in a nutshell. I can answer any other questions, but I believe you might have to make a motion or some kind of substitute, or any questions from the developer as well.
Okay. No, I'm fine with the reduction.
So you have a motion to amend and substitute?
Yes.
Okay, motion to amend and substitute by Ms. Seiden, second by Mr. Rowling. Is there any discussion? Please vote. No, just this is for the amendment. Now, next, Ms. Seiden. Well, you and Arthur. Y'all,
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
the next, you need a motion and a second just to introduce.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. Ms. Seiden?
On 7778?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I make a motion.
Motion second by Ms. Casabon.
Second.
Okay, the item is introduced. Okay, let me make sure.
14.
Number 14.
Do we?
Okay, next is number 14, ordinance calendar number 7788, ordinance to amend the 2025 capital improvement budgets and capital assets. Amendment number 4, St. Tammany Parish Corner capital budgets, Empestado and Cooper. We need to do an amendment, substitution available. Ms. Tanner?
I think that this needs to be substituted for a new amendment. I think the cost is not $525,000, it's $600,000.
That's correct, going 525 to 600.
That was an old estimate for, is it the chiller?
The addition of the chiller at the coroner's office.
Okay, so Ms. Tanner, you have an amendment to substitute?
Yes.
Okay, motion by Ms. Tanner, second by Ms. Casabon. Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Okay, Ms. Tanner, do you have a motion to introduce?
Yes.
And second by Ms. Seiden. Thank you. Ordinance is introduced. Which one is next, Katrina?
Number 15.
Number 15 is ordinance calendar number 7789, ordinance to amend the 2025 operating budget, amendment number 3.
This is the other side of the ordinance.
Okay.
This is amendment for the $600,000 for the chiller.
Okay, so motion by Ms. Tanner, second by Ms. Seiden to amend.
amend this, sir.
Okay. Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Okay, we have a motion, second by Ms. Tanner, introduce. Motion, second by Ms. Seiden, thank you. Next, Katrina is which one? 17? Okay, number 17 is an ordinance calendar number 7791, ordinance to address public comments to improve code administration, make minor changes and corrections to clarify St. Tammany Parish Code of Ordinances. Do we have a motion? Mr. Corbin.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to postpone this for 1 month to give the planning team the opportunity to work with interested constituents and make sure that we're doing the right thing.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We have one speaker. Mr. Hernandez, step up to the microphone. You have 3 minutes to speak.
We have 1 minute for postponement.
What's that?
He has 1 minute because it's a motion to postpone.
It's a motion to postpone, so you have 1 minute and you're only able to speak on the postponement. But the good thing is you can come back next month and speak for 3 minutes.
I will come back next month and speak for 3 minutes.
Please proceed.
I support the postponement. Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Okay, so we had a motion and a second to postpone.
Who
Please,
was the second by? You going?
Ms. Kugel, please vote.
Hold on one moment.
Okay. I took a lot of Claritin.
Has everybody voted? Ms. Casabon, what was your vote? The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Next is 18, correct?
Yes.
Number 18, ordinance calendar number 7792, ordinance to amend the St. Tammany Parish Code of Ordinances, Section 14-3, to adopt the most current edition of the National Fire Protection Life Safety Code, NFPA 101, and the National Fire Protection Association, NFPA 1, and to permit St. Tammany Parish Fire District 3 to adopt the most current edition of NFPA 101 and NFPA 1 and NFPA 1. We just need to get this introduced. Do you have a motion? By Mr. Burke, second by Ms. O'Brien. I know we have a speaker, the chief from Fire District 3. Please state your name and title and address and proceed.
Good afternoon, good evening. My name is Michael Geisler. I reside at 2310 Slidell, Louisiana, 70460, but my heart is in Lacombe. Just briefly, this ordinance adopting NFPA 101 is our intention to move forward with establishing our own fire prevention bureau at District 3, which services Lacombe. It's important to us. We're progressing, we're moving forward, and this will allow us the opportunity really to involve in more public outreach. We'll be doing inspections at some of our commercial buildings, which will give us the opportunity to go in and talk to some of these business owners, so that's really important to us. This will allow us to educate our business owners on fire prevention issues, safety concerns within our district, and this will also give us the opportunity to gain points in future PIL property insurance ratings, which is important as well. We service, we do pre-planning on about 150 locations, commercial locations in our district. So again, this would allow us to be able to reach out and make contact with a lot of our business owners in our fire district. So again, I appreciate y'all's opportunity appreciate my opportunity to speak to y'all here at the council meeting. Thank y'all.
Don't leave. Mr. Rowling?
Sir, Chief, I have a quick question. It's a little bit off subject, just because I heard it on the radio this afternoon. I know we have a lot of house fires during this time of year. Is the fire department, are they giving away like smoke detectors to residents at no charge? And I heard that they also go in the home and install it. Is that correct? I was just wondering in St. Tammany if that happens.
Yeah, every fire district in St. Tammany is allowed fire smoke detectors, and we do have a handful of carbon monoxide detectors as well. And it's a program provided through the State Fire Marshal's Office, Operation Save a Life. And so we do get the smoke detectors. Residents come in, they fill out a request. We'll go to their home, we'll install the proper smoke detectors, and we'll discuss safety issues too while we're there, and promote good safety in their home.
And I'm assuming that probably is on social media from the fire departments in the area. Do y'all advertise that?
Yeah, Fire District 3 in Lacombe, we do advertise that, and I know District 1 Slidell has advertised it. District 8's also here, I believe. As a fire department as a whole throughout the parish, we do advertise that. Yes, sir.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? I would briefly like to thank you for doing an incredible job at our fire department. You have really been outstanding. I'd also like to thank, I know he doesn't want any credit, but our chairman of the fire department board of commissioners, Mr. Danny Hall. Thank you both very much for the job and your service that you provide to our community.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, so we need a motion and a second for introduction. We already have it. Okay, so that's it. Next is which one, Katrina?
Number 19.
Number 19. Okay, number 19 is ordinance calendar number 7793, ordinance to amend the St. Tammany Parish Code of Ordinances, Part 1, Chapter 2, Administrative Article 3, Parish Council, Section 2-71, Salaries, to add subsection D relative to overnight travel. Mr. Bender.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to offer a substitute ordinance for consideration and reintroduction. Mr. Chairman, I can read the entire thing into the record, or I can read the section that is going to be amended and substituted.
I think that would be adequate.
The second choice?
Yes.
Okay. So the amendment and substitution is important. It is item D, and it pertains to overnight and air travel. 1, the use of public funds for overnight and/or air travel by a parish council member or council staff member shall be reviewed by the council administrator to confirm that funding is available and approved by the council chairman. The approval must be requested in writing prior to the travel, which will include the date of the travel, the purpose, and estimated cost. 2, overnight and/or air travel expenses requiring approval, including rental car fees, airfare, lodging, meals, and incidental expenses. 3, at the agenda review committee, immediately following the travel, the council member or members and our council staff member or members will present what was learned during the travel experience. And that is the amendment and the substitution for reintroduction.
Okay, so we have 2 people in the queue, Mr. Lachlan and Mr. Kugel.
Yeah, I was gonna second Mr. Bender's motion.
Okay. Mr. Kugel?
Yeah, you know, my original intent with my ordinance, the ordinance I'd get done with a public notice and opportunity for public comment, and this achieves that. This is a good compromise, and I appreciate your work, Mr. Bender, and I'm going to second your motion. I guess he already said.
Yeah, we still have to vote because it's a substitution. Would like to say, great job, Mr. Bender. This is a positive thing. We will enable us to inform not only our constituents, but the council members about what we're doing. I think it's a great job. Thank you so much. So we have a motion and a second. Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with 1 absent.
And then to reintroduce would be Mr. Bender and Mr. Kugel.
Number 22.
22. Okay, number 22 is a moratorium ordinance. Ordinance calendar number 7796. Ordinance to extend a 6-month moratorium within the boundaries of Council District 9 as established by ordinance Council Series number 22-5061 on the receipt of submissions by the St. Tammany Parish Department of Planning and Development and/or the issuance of permits by the St. Tammany Parish Department of Permits and Inspections for the rezoning and/or subdivisions, re-subdivisions, and/or construction or placement for any of the following: 1, any parcel of land 10 acres or larger, which would result in an allowable density of any residentially zoned parcel greater than or more dense than A2 District 1, single family per unit, or 2, any parcel of land less or smaller than 10 acres. 10, which would result in an allowable or greater density or more density than A3 Suburban District 2. Single-family units per acre, or 3 residential permitted use of the planned unit development overlay PUDs, or 4, any residential permitted in the traditional neighborhood development TNDs, or 5, any single-family dwelling and or lodging permitted in any highway commercial zoning district, or 6, any residential permitted use in a planned business campus PBC zoning district, or 7, any residential properties 1 acre or greater on all roads without land or clearing permit. Mr. Kugel, you will need to provide justification for your moratorium.
So we're still having a lot of, especially drainage issues, other infrastructure issues in my district. Some have gotten worse since some of the recent high-density development. For instance, we're doing a lot of work, and I appreciate the administration's hard work in getting a lot of drainage projects in the Cross Gates area, but still, when you have a heavy rain, you can't even get into certain parts of the area. And this is just, a lot of other infrastructure still needs to take place. And I didn't know that I know that this is a new requirement that we're having to do an oral presentation. Yeah, I would have given you a list before.
It's okay. I mean, you're doing good.
But, you know, I did provide previously a list, but a lot of it's just, there's a lot of infrastructure needs that still need to take place, especially for drainage, and that's why I would like to continue this.
Okay, a motion by Mr. Kugel, second by Ms. O'Brien. We are introduced. Now we move on to the resolutions. Okay, number 2 we start with, Katrina? Okay, number 2 is Resolution Council Series number C-7047, resolution to concur and not concur with the City of Slidell annexation and rezoning of Lot 5-2 Robert Park subdivision from Parish NC Neighborhood Commercial to City of Slidell C4 Highway Commercial property is located near the intersection of Tyler Street and Manzella Drive in Slidell, situated in Section 12, Township 9, Range 14 East, Ward 8, District 13. Mr. Corbin.
There you go. Ross, can you step up? Is he here?
Oh, he's definitely here.
He's not.
Take your time, Ms. Lana.
Yeah, I may not have that particular file, but let's go with it.
7047?
Correct.
Ross, the only question I've got, I've talked to a few people in the city council from Slidell, and they weren't sure what was the motivation for this. So I didn't know if you have any insight.
None was
into what
given.
the motivation.
No, so they just fill out the annexation, they list what their current zoning is, what the anticipated zoning is, and the extent of what planning and development does is either state whether it's an intensification or not based on the zoning classification. So as far as what the development is or what the intent is, no.
Yeah, this is already developed property, so it's not changing. The zoning, to me, matches up, so I have no objection to it. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure there was something I wasn't missing that you might know. So I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Krobin to...
Motion to concur.
Let him finish. Second by Mr. Krugel. Any more discussion? Motions to concur, please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Next is number 3. Okay, number 3 is Resolution Council Series C-7048, resolution to concur or not concur with the City of Slidell annexation and rezoning of a vacant 33.147 acre parcel located at 2216 Gauze Boulevard from Parish A2 Suburban to City of Slidell A8 single-family residential property is located between North Shore Boulevard and Thompson Road, Slidell, Louisiana, situated in Section 38, Township 7, South 14, East, Ward 8, District 11. Mr. Laughlin.
Yeah, good evening. I have a quick question for legal first. So I'm not sure. I'm either going to make a motion to postpone indefinitely or remove this from the agenda. I received an email from the City Council. The petitioner who caused this action to take place has since now withdrawn their motion, so this is no longer necessary. So I'm not sure which is the most appropriate step to take.
Oh.
I mean, they have the same effect in practice, but I think a motion to remove would be the more appropriate action if, in fact, the application's been withdrawn.
As always, I'll follow legal counsel and make a motion to remove this from the agenda.
Motion by Mr. Laughlin, second by Mr. Bender. Any more discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Are we on number 5? Yes. Okay, number 5 is Resolution Council Series C-7050, resolution to acknowledge and confirm the President's appointment to the Director of Facilities. Do we have a motion? Motion, Mr. Burke, second by Mr. Laughlin. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
Mr. Laughlin, what was your vote? Yay. The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Congratulations. Number 7. Number 7 is Resolution Council Series C-7052, resolution to vacate in part the moratorium originally established by Ordinance Council Series number 24-5360 on the receipt of submissions by the St. Tammany Parish Department of Planning and Development and/or the issuance of permits to the St. Tammany Parish Department of Permits and inspections for the rezoning and/or re-subdivision and/or any construction or replacement of building structures on property within the boundaries of Council District 9, specifically 37.155 acres of land located in Section 5, Township 8, Range 14, also bearing the municipal address of 35320 Gramka Road, Pearl River, as particularly identified in the exhibits. Ward 9, District 9. Mr. Kugel.
So I don't know who pulled this.
I think it was pulled by mistake, actually, but if you want to go ahead and explain
This is just it's basically a land clearing permit for around 37 acres. Was submitted for the purpose of digging a pond and future construction of a single-family residence, which fits into the area. And I ask,
motion by Mr. Kugel, second by Mr. Laughlin. Is there any other discussion? Please vote. All right, Katrina. What is next up for bid? 10 and 11?
Has everybody voted? The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Okay, resolution number 10 is Council Series number C-7055, a resolution granting approval to Fire District number 8 of the Parish of St. Tammany, State of Louisiana, the district, to call and hold an election on May 3rd, 2025, to request the electorate of district to renew and levy the collection of special ad valorem taxes in the district, and further providing for other matters in connection therewith. Ms. Tanner.
Thank you so much. We have with us the chairman of the board and also Chief Stein. Would y'all like to say a few words or about this?
Basically, Chief Stein, St. Tammany Fire District 8. Basically, we're looking to do an early renewal. We're looking at building a new station in the town of Abita proper, which is our headquarters station. We're looking to build a facility that's more accommodating for what we have now. We've outgrown that station, and to do so, last several years we've taken a lot of steps to put some money aside to help with it. The last part of this is going to be extending our millage time to help get access to additional funding through bonds and all. So that's why we're extending it. It's not a new tax or anything. It's basically an early renewal is all we're looking for. And that's what it's going to be to help facilitate the build out of that new facility.
Okay, don't go away.
Okay.
Mr. Laughlin?
I would just like to second the motion whenever Ms. Tanner makes it.
Okay, Ms. Tanner, do you have anything to
I'll
add?
make the motion. I also like to say that they are doing some training now because they're closest to the airport. And I think we had a discussion at the agenda review meeting. They are taking steps to train and get some training and experience with the new airport. Well, with the airport getting more attractive and having more business.
Yeah, we took a look. Actually, we had on several occasions met with the new people at the airport and have pretty good relationship with them. They got a lot of big plans for the place. So we found it was in our best interest. It's not in our fire district, but we are the closest, and we have an automatic aid agreement with District 4 to respond there in case of an emergency. So we feel it's in our best interest to be prepared well in advance. If things materialize at the airport, so be it. If not, we're still prepared for anything that could happen there. So that's a big part of what we're doing as well. Ms. Tanner did attend our board meeting and got some good insight on what we're doing there also. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for the service you and the firemen provide for our community.
Absolutely.
It means a great deal.
I would be honored to make the motion.
Motion is by Ms. Tanner, second is by Mr. Laughlin. Please vote. Almost spilled over.
The motion is unanimous with 2 absent.
Okay, number 11 is Resolution Council Series number C-7057, a resolution approving the holding of an election in Recreation District number 6, St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana, on Saturday, May 3rd, 2025, authorizing the incurring of debt and issuance of bonds therein. Ms. Tanner.
Thank you. I think we have Jason with us from Foley Udell and Bridget. Y'all want to come up? Would you like to say anything, or you want Jason to? Okay.
And please all state your name and address for the record, although we know who you are.
Absolutely. Jason Akers with Foley Udell. Pleasure to see you all. Rec District 6 currently levies an ad valorem tax of 4.75 mils. It services its outstanding general obligation bonds. Because of growth within the district and the redemption of some of those bonds, they can actually borrow up to $2.4 million without raising that tax. And so the proposition that will go before the voters authorizes the issuance of an additional $2.4 million in bonds to be used for recreational improvements within the district. I'm sure they can give you a much better synopsis of what those improvements are going to be, but this is nothing different than you've seen a number of other rec districts and fire districts do as well.
Okay, great.
And if I could, you want to say y'all's plans for the gym and.
Currently, we do not have a gym in our recreation district. We use Leroy Junior High, and just for example, we normally start games in December. We had to push our games back to starting in January this year due to the fact that we cannot have access to the school. And this is becoming a problem year after year because we also have to use it for volleyball. This is becoming a problem because the school's growing and they have more activities going on as well. So it's even with our games, we're having to shuffle and miss our kids are not benefiting from with our park due to we don't have always have access to it. And even with volleyball now, we're having trouble, so.
Okay, please, before you leave, state your name for the record, please.
Sorry. Bridget Levine with 22022 Highway 40, Bush, Louisiana.
Thank you very
Thank
much. Is there any other comment? Ms. Kazima, hold on, let me
I did it.
activate your microphone.
What a great job y'all are doing, and it is growing, and this is much needed. And I think the people at this point are very receptive to this, so we'd like to keep the ball rolling and get y'all. So, good luck. I'll second it or whatever. Does it have to be seconded?
Motion by Ms. Tanner, second by Ms. Kazadabon. Seeing no other discussion, please vote. Is that it with the consent calendar? Thank goodness. All right.
Ms. Sidon, what was your vote? The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Thank you, sir. Okay, now we're on to our ordinances for adoption. Ordinance calendar number 7755, ordinance to amend the 2024 grants budget, amendment number 11 by Mr. Laughlin. Motion, Mr. Laughlin, second by Mr. Burke. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Number 2 is ordinance calendar number 7756, ordinance to amend the 2024 capital improvement budget and capital assets, amendment number 42, utilities, capital projects. Mr. Laughlin.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Laughlin, second by Ms. Sidon. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Number 3 is ordinance calendar number 7757, ordinance to amend the 2024 capital improvement budget and capital assets, amendment number 43, St. Tammany Parish Library capital projects.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Laughlin. We have a second by Mr. Bender. Any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Number 4 is ordinance calendar number 7758, ordinance amending the official zoning map of St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana to reclassify a certain parcel located on 72258 Military Road, Covington, from its present R2 Rural Residential District to a PF1 Public Facilities District, Ward 3, District 2. Mr. Rowling.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a couple of comments on this. I know this was approved by the Zoning Commission. Also, this property is right on the side of Fire District 12 now, and I know they're going to keep the area clean. They're going to use most of all this for parking. I know it's required by ordinance an 8-foot fence and also a 15-foot buffer. So at this time, I would like to make a motion, unless there's other comments on this, to approve.
Motion by Mr. Rowling, second by Ms. Sidon. Is there any other discussion? Please vote. Ross, I'm going to have a question for you on the next one.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Number 5 is ordinance calendar number 7759, ordinance amending the official zoning map of St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana to reclassify a certain parcel located at Highway 190 and North 29th Street, Lacombe, from its present NC Neighborhood Commercial District to an L1 Large Lot Residential District to an HC Highway Commercial District. Solana, real quick, this is the development where they're doing the retail, but some manufacturing of furniture in the back? I just wanted to make sure.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Do
Okay.
you mind if I butt in for 1 second?
No problem.
Mr. Corbin, I did find my file and I verified it. There is no use that they're saying it's going to be. It is a hotel currently, and then but it's not required that they say what they're going to do, just what it is currently.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Bender, second by Mr. Laughlin. Any other discussion? Please vote. Okay.
Mr. Corbin, what was your vote?
Yay.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Okay, number 6 is ordinance calendar number 7760, ordinance amending the official zoning map of St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana to reclassify a certain parcel located on the north side of Dixie Ranch Road, north of Interstate 12, Lacombe, from its present GC1 General Commercial District to an I2 Industrial District in Ward 7, District 7. Can I have a motion? Mr. Laughlin, second by Mr. Bender. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
Mr. Kugel, what was your vote? The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Number 7 is ordinance calendar number 7761, ordinance amending the official zoning map of St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana to reclassify a certain parcel being Lot 26, Honeysuckle Estate subdivision, Covington, from its present R1 Rural Residential District to an RO Rural Overlay District, R1 Residential District, RO Rural Overlay, and Manufactured Housing Overlay. Ward 2, District 6, Ms. Tanner.
I make the motion.
Motion by Ms. Tanner, second by Ms. Kaiserbaum. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Number 8 is ordinance calendar number 7762, ordinance to officially name the 50-foot private road identified on the attached survey, Spellbound Farmed Road, Ward 2, District 6. Ms. Tanner.
I make the motion.
Motion by Ms. Tanner, second by Ms. Seiden. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Number 9 is ordinance calendar number 7763, ordinance to address public comments, improve code administration, make minor changes and corrections, and clarify the St. Tammany Parish Code of Ordinances. Ms. Tanner? Motion to postpone by Ms. Tanner. Second by Mr. Corbin. Any discussion? No, postpone is just 1 month. If you can postpone for longer. Huh, you like that, Emily?
There you go.
I'm getting like Arthur.
Tell them to vote.
Please vote.
Not everybody. The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Okay, number 10 is ordinance calendar number 7764, ordinance to extend for a 6-month moratorium within the boundaries of Council District 7 and Council District 11 above Interstate 12 and below Highway 36 on the receipt of submissions by the St. Tammany Parish Planning Department of Planning, and or the issuance of permits by the Department of Permits and Inspections for rezoning or re-subdivision or subdivision and or construction or placement for any of the following: 1 parcel of land 10 acres or larger which would result in a allowable density of any single family or 2 family zone parcel greater than A2 suburban district, 1 per unit, 1 unit per acre, or 2, any residential permitted use in planned unit development, PUD, or 3, any residential permitted use in traditional neighborhood developments, or 4, any single family dwelling unit and or lodging permitted use in the highway commercial zoning district, or 5, any residential or hotel motel permitted use in a planned business district, PBC zoning district, or 6, a new multifamily structures on parcels of land located in A6, A7, or A8. Mr. Laughlin.
Just to clarify, do we need to explain, or can I just?
No, sir.
Nope, so moved.
Motion, Mr. Laughlin, second by Mr. Bender. Please vote. Seeing no discussion.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Okay, number 11 is ordinance calendar number 7765, ordinance to extend for an additional 6-month period the moratorium and on the submissions of subdivisions to the Parish Planning and Zoning Commission for the rezoning of multifamily property and or issuance of permits by the Parish Department of Planning and Development permits for the construction or placement of new multifamily building structures on property zoned A6, A7, or A8, and any multifamily structure dwellings on property within the following zoning classifications: and highway commercial district with lodging including apartments, hotels, motels, and any planned business campus district, or any planned unit development, PUD, or 3, any traditional neighborhood development district in Council District 12. Mr. Bender.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For my colleagues, you might recall that last month at the introduction stage, I explained this in a rather lengthy detail, okay? If you don't mind, I'll just add to this one statement, which is simply that I'm trying to maintain the integrity of single-family residential in Council District 12. We have an inordinate amount of apartments throughout the Council District. At some point, I'm looking at trying to do some vacating of certain areas, but for now, I'd like to continue with this for another 6 months, so I make that motion.
Second. Motion by Mr. Bender, second by Mr. Strickland. Is there any other discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Thank you.
Number 12 is ordinance calendar number 7766, ordinance to amend the St. Tammany Parish Code of Ordinances, Part 1, Chapter 2, Administrative Article 3, Parish Council, Section 2-80, Public Participation Rules to prohibit defamatory comments against members to the public, especially me. Ms. Tanner.
Thank you so much. I would like to make a motion to remove this from the agenda. The intent was not to restrict the right of citizens to speak. It was to have a more orderly meeting and get key issues and problems resolved. I still think we should be respectful to others, and with that, I make the motion to remove from the agenda.
Ms. Side?
Ditto to what you said.
Ditto. We have a motion and a second. Mr. Kugel is in the queue.
I just want to say I appreciate you guys' decision. Thank you.
Oh, we do have a speaker card here. I'm so sorry.
It's probably that guy, but he wrote.
Mr. Adam Abranovich? Okay. Okay. Seeing no further discussion, please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Number 13 is ordinance calendar number 7767, ordinance to amend the St. Tammany Parish Code of Ordinances, Part 1, Chapter 2, Administrative Article 11, Special Districts, Division 3, Economic Development District, Section 2-468, Highway 1088, Economic Development District, to amend the boundaries of the district. Mr. Laughlin. Motion, Mr. Laughlin, second by Mr. Corbin. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Ordinance calendar number 7771, ordinance to amend the 2024 capital improvement budget and capital assets, amendment number 45, animal service facilities and Deepwater Horizon capital projects. Mr. Laughlin? Motion, Mr. Laughlin, second by Mr. Corbett. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
Motion is unanimous with one absent.
Number 15 is ordinance calendar number 7772, ordinance to amend the 2024 capital improvement budget and capital assets, amendment number 46, utilities, capital projects. Ms. Tanner?
My next motion.
Motion, Ms. Tanner, second by Mr. Kugel. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
Motion is unanimous with one absent.
Number 16 is ordinance calendar number 7773, ordinance to amend the 2025 operating budget, amendment number 1. Ms. Tanner? Motion by Ms. Tanner, second by Mr. Laughlin. Is there any discussion?
16.
Did I say 15? I read 16 then.
It's 15 on the screen still.
Well, for the record, that's not me. Okay, motion and second. Please vote.
Who? I don't know who the second. The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Number 17 is ordinance calendar number 7774, ordinance to amend the 2025 capital improvement budget and assets, amendment number 1, parish-wide drainage capital projects. Ms. Tanner?
I make the motion.
Motion by Ms. Tanner, second by Ms. Seiden, third by Mr. Rowling. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, please vote.
That motion is unanimous with one absent.
Okay, don't go away. We have off-the-floor items.
We have.
We have 2 minutes. We do this.
Oh, is that the record? Well, thanks to somebody in this audience, we can't have no chance. Okay, can we have a motion? Okay, read what, Katrina, this?
Unanimous vote.
Okay, we're trying to open the floor up. Oh, 1 second, everybody. Let's go. We're almost finished. A unanimous vote to get the off-the-floor items. The unanimous vote of all members present is needed to open the off-the-floor items. Do we have a motion? By Ms. Casadebon, second by Ms. Seiden. Please vote.
The motion is unanimous with one absent.
Okay, off the floor, number 1 is ordinance to amend the 2025 grants budget, amendment number 1. Mr. Burke.
Yes,
We got you.
all right, this is a budget amendment for the Cardinal Cove renovations project, which will include renovating 6 buildings to be utilized for veterans housing and rehabilitation. These buildings will include 5 residential buildings, 6 clients per building, and 1 community building. The community or shared space, the 6th building will include a common recreational area, cafeteria, and office for staff. If anybody has any questions, I would call Ms. Tanja Hill up to answer any questions about it.
This is a great project to support.
If not, I move.
I'm so sorry. We have some people in the queue, so Ms. Tanya Hill, please come up to the podium. Ms. Tanner, you have the floor.
Thank you. I need John to come up, please. I do agree it's a great project, but I have some questions as to when we were notified by the feds as to when we were notified that we could do this and get this money.
So we've had this, all the federal funding sources approved for several months, I would say. We got the final approval for the STRAP money that we're using for veterans housing. That was done in the final quarter of last year. The reason for this delay is that we had all the very strict deadlines, one of which we're transferring the different HUD years. That's the main purpose of this budget amendment. But the reason for that is that we had to work with the architect to make sure that they've done conceptual design, and we had to work with them to get to full design and spend the money by September of this year. And so we had to make sure that all that could happen. And we finally got to a place where everyone thought that that could happen. And we were then at that point, we had to move these HUD monies, and we were waiting for HUD to approve that, and that happened. And then when
did HUD approve it?
That was in December of this year, or late November. So we barely made the deadlines to get it on this agenda. And so I requested that it be off the floor because of the strict deadline of September 30th, so that it's introduced and then approved next month.
Okay, Sean, let me say this. I am beginning to hate things off the floor, okay?
I agree.
Just my personal thing. I would like to see this done in a more timely manner. I know that we will have from time to time this kind of thing. But I hope this is the exception and not the rule.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I was going to ask you to send Mary the HUD approval letter when you have time. Okay?
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah, no, we can do that, and I agree with you. I would prefer not to have things off the floor as well and done timely. So, I rarely absolutely use off the floor unless it's absolutely necessary, so we don't lose federal funding. So I agree with you.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Mr. Bender, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. John,
don't go away. Please stay close.
This is John and Leslie. You're not getting away with it off the floor, Leslie. Okay. It's a friendly question, okay?
Sure.
I'm seeing the current budget, we had $3.9 million in there, okay? I've added it up to $1,592,000 to $959,000 and then $1,340,000 comes to approximately $3,900,000. So we basically have, correct me if I'm wrong, a negative amendment. We're reducing the current budget to a revised budget of $2.3 million. Is that correct?
What we're essentially doing is we are budgeting the money that is for emergency rental assistance. So we got that approval to use that for veterans housing, and we're budgeting that amount. And we are replacing it says OCD Road Home Auction Properties, which is HUD program income that was originally through the Office of Community Development, but has now been transferred into our entitlement program, and it was just transferred over. And it specifically was for Cardinal Cove, so that is the authorization I had to get from HUD, is to move program FY23 and FY24 to replace the 1.1 million. So those two should be relatively an even swap.
So my question is, on the second item, F 2112, the Coronavirus Relief Fund,
Yes.
we had 1.5, almost 1.6 million budgeted in the budget, the current budget being 2025, correct?
We've always had 1,592,199.19.
Okay. And the amendment is to take that out completely?
No, it's to actually budget that, it's to budget it for the project. I think it was in unobligated, and we're putting it into the actual project for Cardinal Cove.
That's correct.
We had the money budgeted in the grants unobligated fund, waiting for the HUD approval, and so when we have the approval, we moved it, we budgeted it to the actual project. So there's two off-the-floor amendments. One is the capital asset amendment, and one is the grants budget amendment. And so when we move things from an unobligated state to an actual project, it's considered a budget amendment. And so that's what you're seeing. You're seeing it moved to, assigning it to the Cardinal Cove project.
Okay, so Annie, I'm probably going to get a little training exercise from you, okay? Thank y'all for the answer.
No problem.
Mr. Laughlin, you have the floor.
Good evening, John. Real
Press it
easy.
again, please, Arthur.
Yeah, John, real easy. This is all just movement of grant funds that were already intended to be spent on this project, correct?
Yes, it is a movement of HUD funds from, we were using the program income money, and now we're using other money that was already, that we already had allocated to us for something else. But yeah,
Perfect.
we're just moving it around.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
We have a motion. We need, Mr. Burke.
Gotta turn me on. I was gonna say, if there's no other questions, I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion, Mr. Burke, second, Mr. Laughlin. That's it. It just needs to be introduced. Off the floor, number 2 is ordinance to amend the 2025 capital improvement budget and capital assets amendment number 2, Safe Haven Capital Projects. Mr. Burke.
Same thing, I move.
Motion by Mr. Burke, second by Mr. Laughlin. Is there any discussion? Please, no, there's no vote.
Motion adjourned.
Our meeting is concluded. Everyone did a wonderful job. Thank you so much for your attendance, and have a good evening. All right.